My faith story starts, I think, when I was 16 or a little bit before 16. Well, I was raised in a Christian home. I'd been taught right from wrong, but it didn't seem to matter how badly I wanted to be good. I was having a real hard time being good. But I got really good at hiding my choices. The devil had convinced me of, basically, that I was not going to be good enough, and I was fine with that. And so I had my last conversation with God saying, look, you know I'm bad through and through, and I can't pretend anymore, so, you know, it's not that I don't believe in you, I'm out of here. And that was basically my last prayer until I was about a month away from giving birth to my son at 27. My story continued on the outside in a lot of ways it wouldn't have known. I graduated from high school, went to college, majored in music, which was my life, sang, moved to New York to fulfill my dream of being a Broadway star. Didn't quite make that, but did get to do a lot of awesome shows off-Broadway on bus and truck tours and things of that nature. The girl that could pray in the car or on my bike as a young adolescent didn't exist anymore. I was doing it on my own. Choices were made that weren't good for me, both physically, mentally, and I don't think I would have made it out of New York. I probably wouldn't have made it into my 30s if I hadn't conceived my son. It was Christmas Eve, a month before my son was due, and I was in Florida with my son's father's family. We were attending a church Christmas Eve service. I don't know if it was the familiar hymns or the candles. I felt humbled and I felt weak, and I felt that I needed to reach out, not on behalf of me, but on behalf of my unborn child, to have God protect him from me. I wanted to be a good mom, more than anything. And so I did a silent prayer that Christmas Eve and said, you know, in spite of me, I want to do something right here with him. I'm not asking anything for me, but for him. And that kind of started my journey back home to Michigan, back home to my family, and back home to God. Another seed that was planted during that time was from a 60-year-old female executive at the company that I was working at. She was a pretty tough woman and a little intimidating. And I was the receptionist for the Human Resource Department, and she must have realized that I was changing 3 blouses and 2 skirts. That was my business wardrobe at that time. And she asked me into her office one Friday and had all these bags of these business clothes and said, I can't fit into these anymore. If you want them, please take them. And I didn't know it at the time, but this was the good stuff. I told her I couldn't pay for it. I didn't have the money. She said, nope, just take them. Just if, 2 things. She said, if there's something you don't need, make sure someone who needs it gets it. And if you ever have the chance to do this for someone later in life, make sure you do. She didn't profess to be a Christian. She didn't talk of faith. She didn't, on the outside, wouldn't be an individual that, whose life would maybe say that she knew God, but that was a huge seed that was planted. I never imagined at that point that I would be in the position to be able to help someone like she did, or in any way close to it, but it was definitely a seed. And so I say that I came into this church via the gym, and it's true. It wasn't a small group, it wasn't Sunday school class, it was just plain volleyball, community volleyball that took place there. And got to know some people, and then started doing some social things with other single adults, and then eventually started attending worship. It was beginning to be time to do something. Now, I don't have a lot of ideas of my own. I got to know the pastor's wife. A few years later, she and some young moms and moms of young children here at the church in a small group had come up with some needs amongst themselves and some extra items they had, and they started trading clothing and then decided to bring it here to in the walls of the church. They named it Little Lamb's Closet. And for a while it was primarily the individuals that attended here, with the hope that they would get the word out to others. At one point there was more donations than need internally, and so they had a space and they needed it put together. So I was able to strategically create a very efficient room that looked like a small boutique and was pleasant to come into, and had a lot of fun doing that, and really got motivated to see it work. And so I stayed. The original request, because she's very smart, was just, can you make this for us? Knowing that I think she knew that I would stay. And I did. And that was over 10 years ago.
And so she's a natural person to lead this, and has in her life benefited from ministries like this, and now her heart is to make sure that others who have that need can receive those kinds of ministries.
I was 18 years old, just coming out the foster care system. I didn't really have anything, nobody to look up to, and Dawn was there with open arms. She helped me with baby items, she helped me with clothes for the children, she helped me with mattress for the beds, beds for my children. She helped me with kitchen items, big items like a stove. You can tell that Jesus is working through Dawn. I love her so much.
The idea that we all have a purpose. He says, we got plans for you. Plans that aren't going to hurt you. They're going to prosper you. And plans that are better, I'm paraphrasing here, better than anything you can come up with. So that has been kind of my life verse, and that has been time and time again proven. And if I can show that in what I do, and if I can give that grace that's been given back to me, then I feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And the whole Little Lambs has given me that purpose.